Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. This series is titled The Writing on the Wall, Implosion of the American Empire. In this series, we will explore the critical indicators that highlight the concerning state of America's vital signs. These indicators serve as essential metrics that suggest the nation is experiencing a downturn across various dimensions. We will delve into America's economic decline and investigate the factors contributing to this trend. This includes examining key economic indicators such as GDP growth rates, unemployment figures, and income inequality. Next, we will address the political instability and corruption that afflict the government. We will analyze recent political events, public trust in institutions, and how these elements impact governance and policy making. The issue of white supremacy and social fragmentation will also be a focus. We will discuss how these divisions are creating a stark contrast between two Americas, one affluent and predominantly white, and another struggling with poverty and diversity. We will look at the growing normalization of immorality and deviant lifestyles in society. This segment will cover how greed, lust, and excessive self-interest have become prevalent values that influence behavior and societal norms. Furthermore, we will examine the causes behind America's geopolitical weakness. This analysis will include why non-Western nations perceive America as a global threat to peace and stability. Finally, we will conclude with a discussion on the neglect and abandonment of America's infrastructure and public services. We will assess how this deterioration affects everyday life for citizens and contributes to broader national challenges. Vital signs are crucial metrics that provide insight into a body's or a nation's fundamental operations. By examining these indicators, we can assess whether the nation has a chance for recovery or if it is terminal, facing an irreversible decline where recovery becomes increasingly unlikely despite any interventions. We begin with a scripture from the Bible and end with an excerpt from A Torchlight for America that was written by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and published in 1993. In these verses from 2 Timothy, the Apostle Paul warns about the moral decline that will characterize the last days. He describes a society filled with negative traits and behaviors that reflect a departure from godliness, but mark this: there will be terrible times in the last days. People will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boastful, proud, abusive, disobedient to their parents, ungrateful, unholy, without love, unforgiving, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not lovers of the good, treacherous, rash, conceited, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. Have nothing to do with such people. They are the kind who worm their way into homes and gain control over gullible women, who are loaded down with sins and are swayed by all kinds of evil desires, always learning but never able to come to a knowledge of the truth. Just as Jannes and Jambres opposed Moses, so also these teachers oppose the truth. They are men of depraved minds who, as far as the faith is concerned, are rejected, but they will not get very far because, as in the case of those men, their folly will be clear to everyone. In these verses from 2 Timothy, the Apostle Paul warns about the moral decline that will characterize the last days and an admonition to remain vigilant against false teachings that masquerade as truth. The overall message emphasizes the need for discernment in recognizing true godliness versus superficial appearances. Excerpt from A Torchlight for America that was written by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and published in 1993. Excerpts from the book's preface reads, "This book represents some of the guiding principles taught to us by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. This man and his teachings have been responsible for transforming the lives of millions of black men and women, many of whom this society has rejected as incorrigible, irredeemable, irreformable, irretrievable, hopeless, and lost. Yet the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, with the word of Allah, God, has been able to initiate the process of our salvation, redemption, and resurrection, which continues to this day. This book is humbly submitted as a torchlight for guiding the country out from its present condition toward a more peaceful and productive society in which mutual respect governs the relations between the diverse members of America. Minister Farrakhan stated in A Torchlight for America, America is clearly suffering, and from my vantage point, America lies on her deathbed in dire need of guidance and a new direction. If you examine her vital signs, you will have to agree that they show America is steadily on the decline. The root of her suffering is basic immorality and vanity, where greed, lust, and inordinate self-interest have become the way of life. When the desire for the realization of self-interest becomes excessive, the first casualty in this struggle is truth. The leaders in the society, in their struggle to achieve inordinate self-interest, engage in hiding the light of truth from the American people. Without truth, the American people are left paralyzed, unable to constructively address their problems. Eventually, their only response will be to react destructively because their very lives are at peril's door, and they know not why they are in this condition nor how to save themselves. So the country could be facing revolution because, in the main, the government and leadership have hidden the truth and will not or does not have a solution for the suffering and the root problems of the people of this country. Gross vanity, greed, lust, and inordinate self-interest have divided the country along the lines of class, race, and sex. We live in one country with two realities, separate and unequal. One rich, one poor, one white, one black, one predator, one prey, one skilled, one non-skilled, one slave master, one slave. Classism, racism, and sexism are used to keep the people divided, and these three evils threaten to sink and destroy the entire country. America must deal effectively with these lines of division or face anarchy and revolution. If the greatest political system is democracy and the right to choose leadership, and if only half of the people are participating in this democracy, then the people are demonstrating their gross dissatisfaction with their own leadership and government. This dissatisfaction must bring about a change. The question becomes, who will bring about the change? Who will offer solutions to the problems faced by the people, and what kind of change will there be? How will you deal with a solution, a divine solution, a torchlight, if it is not carried by someone of your own class, sex, faith, color, party, or nationality? How will you deal with the solution when it comes from a source you least expect? Would you cast the solution aside or seek to destroy the bearer of the solution? Or would you thank God for giving you an answer to your problems in your prayers? We close with Surah Al-A'raf, chapter 7, verses 93 through 99, where it reads, "So he turned away from them and said, O my people, I have delivered to you the messages of my Lord, and I have advised you, so why should I grieve over a disbelieving people? We did not send any prophet to any town, but we afflicted its people with misery and adversity, so that they may humble themselves. Then we substituted prosperity in place of hardship, until they increased in number and said, Adversity and prosperity has touched our ancestors. Then we seized them suddenly while they were unaware. Had the people of the towns believed and turned righteous, we would have opened for them the blessings of the heaven and the earth, but they rejected the truth, so we seized them by what they were doing. Do the people of the towns feel secure that our might will not come upon them by night while they sleep? Do the people of the towns feel secure that our might will not come upon them by day while they play? Do they feel safe from God's plan? None feel safe from God's plan except the losing people. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of the Writing on the Wall, Implosion of the American Empire. Your support means everything to us at Refuge Depot, where we are dedicated to equipping the Black community with the knowledge, skills, and resources necessary to thrive in the face of adversity. If you found this video insightful, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and share it with your friends and family. Your engagement helps us reach more people and spread our message further. We would love to hear your thoughts on this topic. What resonated with you? What questions do you have? Please share your comments below. We value your input and look forward to engaging with you. Together we can build a stronger community. Thank you once again for being part of this journey. Hit the notification bell to be notified when we release part 2, where we will delve into America's economic decline and investigate the factors contributing to this trend. This includes examining key economic indicators such as the declining value of the dollar, GDP growth rates, unemployment figures, and income inequality. May God continue to bless you with the light of truth and understanding. Peace and blessings.